For this tutorial, I will be using a Jupyter notebook which already comes with NumPy installation. So I don't need to install it, but in case you need to install it, then type this command pip install NumPy and you are good to go. Here I will begin by typing import NumPy. That means I am importing NumPy library into my Python script, and here in this line only I am creating a short name for NumPy, which is NP. When I run this cell, NumPy is imported into my script. Alright, if you are a data science beginner, then you must already know that NumPy is a powerful library in Python for numerical computing. And since it is used to work with arrays, so let's create an array first. Let's give our array a name. Let's call it as ARR1. And in order to create an array using NumPy library, we have to type np.array, and then inside these parentheses, I will pass a list of numbers. And now I'm going to print this array. Run the cell and we have got this array. Now the array that we just created is a one-dimensional array. But if you want to create a two-dimensional array or matrix, then follow the same procedure. Give your 2D array a name. Here I am naming it as matrix, and after that I am putting np.array. Then inside the parenthesis, just like before, I will pass a few numbers, let's say 4, 5 and 6, and after that I will put a comma. And since this is a two-dimensional array, that means it will be in the form of rows and columns. So these are the elements for the first row. Similarly, I can add my second row, and here are the elements for the second row. And now I am putting these inside another pair of square brackets like this, and my matrix will be created, as you will just see. So if I print my matrix, then we have got a two-dimensional array in the form of rows and columns. Moving on, just like lists, NumPy arrays also support indexing and slicing. That means you can access any specific elements just by providing its index values. Let's suppose that I want to access the second element of this array ARR1. So for that I will have to type print ARR1, that is the name of the array, and after that I will have to supply its index inside a pair of square brackets. Just as always, NumPy arrays also begin with 0 index. That means the first element is always stored at index 0, second is stored at index 1 and so on. So my second element will be at index 1, and if I run this cell, I get value 2. In the same way, you can also grab any particular element, row or column from a matrix. Note that the first row is always stored at index 0, and same is the case with column. So let's suppose that I want to access this entire first row from this matrix. So I will have to print here the name of the array first, which is matrix, followed by a pair of square brackets, and inside this I need to supply the row index. That is, I need the first row which is at index 0, and I need all its columns. So for all columns I will simply put a colon mark like this, and when I'll print this, I get the entire first row. Now let's suppose that I only need the second and third columns of this matrix. So in order to do that, I will print here the name of the matrix, and after that I need all rows. That means put a colon mark followed by the indexes for second and third column. As I mentioned earlier, first column is stored at index 0, so that means second and third column will be at index 1 and 2 respectively. So I will type here 1, 2, 3 like this, and here index value 3 will be excluded, and when I run the cell, I get only the second and third columns. Let's move on to learn about mathematical operations on arrays. NumPy makes mathematical operations super easy. So let's suppose that I am given these two arrays, say A and B, each having 3 elements. So when I run the cell, these arrays have now been created, and let's suppose I want to perform addition on these two. Then I will have to print A plus B, and then when I run the cell, I will get to see that these arrays have been added element wise. That means the first element of array A is added with the first element of array B, and similarly the other elements have been added, and we get to see a new array. In the same way, you can perform other mathematical operations like multiplication, subtraction or division. We are not just limited to mathematical operations, we can also perform relational operations. Let's see an example. Suppose that I want to get all the elements from this array B which are equal to or greater than 50. So I will have to type here print, then the name of the array, which is B, and after that inside a pair of square brackets I will supply the condition that I am checking. I want to grab all the elements of array B which are either greater or equal to 50, and that is my condition, and I run the cell, and in the output I get to see two elements are there which are 50 and 60. In the same way you can supply your own conditions over here. It's time now to learn about some useful statistical functions. Let's suppose that I want to find the mean of all the elements of array A. So for that I will type here print np.mean and then supply the name of the array, which is A, and when I run the cell I get to see the mean as a floating point number. So we have added these three elements divided by the number of elements, which is 3, and we get to see 20.0. In the same way, if you want to find the sum, just use np.sum, and this is an inbuilt function. Just supply the name of the array and the sum is displayed on the screen. Moving on, if you want to find the biggest element inside an array, then just go for np.max function and just supply the name of the array, run the cell, and it will automatically display the biggest element in the output. In the same way you can find the smallest element inside your array also. Now let's suppose that I have an array where elements are stored in some random order and I want to sort this array. So I can use np.sort function. Sort is an inbuilt function which automatically sorts a given array in ascending order. So when I run the cell, I get all the elements in ascending order. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to share it with your friends. Also, like and comment on this video and subscribe my channel Programming Horizons for more videos like this.